aka Swagalaw, aka Adolf the Assassin. Oh man, he got some AKAs right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know where to start, but we're just gonna bring him in right now, and you know what I'm saying? What's really good, man? How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm good, man. You know, out here in Miami, just finished recording with one of my artists, Carly Black. He's in the studio. I'm starting my propane campaign Latino division of the crew.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So, you know, we were just in the studio today and all that, you know what I mean? And you know, keeping it productive, staying productive, man. Got the new album out. Got the new album out, Gold 2. It's doing pretty well. It's not on any streaming service. People only can get it through me directly on my IG. It's been going good. And I've just been pushing, you know, pushing the brand. Keep pushing my brand as far as I can before the year's out, because we're in the fourth quarter. So
I already know. You know, one thing that you just said real quick. First and foremost, DJ Miss V, you in the building? I want to introduce you to my DJ. She's not with us right now, but she's on the line. DJ Miss V, can you hear Agallah real good?
No, I can't. I barely hear them. It's very much cut up, so I'm talking right here on the floor.
No doubt, no doubt. Okay.
But what up, Agallah?
Yeah, what up, man? Peace and blessings. Much love all day.
Yeah. But one thing that you said real quick was it's not on any streaming platforms, it's on your platform. You're doing direct to consumer. Right then and there, I want you to really expound on that before we go into the actual interview. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
Why do you want to do the direct to consumer?
Well, I feel because of the coronavirus, we can't be at shows. You know what I'm saying? We can't be there. iTunes don't create no kind of platform for the artist to reach out to the fan. You know what I mean? I didn't want iTunes taking all my money. You know, basically. I feel like, you know, people get it when you're in the digital world, but when the artist is trying to make money and is trying to survive in this kind of thing called the pandemic, I feel like the artist should reciprocate most of the money instead of the corporations. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I felt like I needed to go this route, because, you know, I didn't want to break any bread with iTunes. I didn't really feel like, you know, they really reward the artists. You know what I'm saying? Busta song is out for $6.99.
Right. I could dig it. And first and foremost, let's give the people where they can get it. So I can actually, you know what I'm saying? So we can actually have the people that's watching and the people that's listening, you know what I'm saying, the platform, so that we can have that.
They can get my stuff direct through my IG, Agallah Music, or you can go to my website, Bandcamp, www.agalah.bandcamp.com. You can get other albums, CDs, stuff like that at their website. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, right now it's not available. The new album is only available through me first. It'll be available later on in CD at the website. But right now, only way to get the album is through me. You know what I'm saying? Go to direct message me. You want to support? And that's what I tell people to do. Direct message me. You know, it's better than iTunes telling you, come over here. I feel like if you're a fan of Agallah, you get to talk to Agallah, build with Agallah, chop it up with Ag, hand buy album. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I just put myself in that, you know, you know, I give myself that link with the consumer, right direct, right then and there, like, you know what I mean? So it's a good thing. I think it's, you know, a lot more artists should do that, coming out the trunk, you know what I'm saying, so to speak, coming out your trunk and being able to give that artist that tangible feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt. That direct to consumer is definitely something that everybody needs to adopt, because right now ain't nobody really making no real money like that.
Nobody's making no real money. Yeah, exactly. Like, ain't nobody doing shows. Ain't nobody, you know, they said online sales is through the roof. Yeah, but is your online sales through the roof? You know what I'm saying? It's always a way to try to find out if you're doing well or not. And the way you find out you're doing well or not is get direct with the people. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather have 10,000 loyal fans than 10,000 fans on Instagram. I'd rather have 10,000 fans in real life. Like people I can talk to, like you fucking with, okay. I'd rather have 10,000 people that I know is going to buy my album than to have 1 million fans on Instagram and not make $1 off of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So real quick, we're gonna go back real quick. But let's take it back to Brownsville, you know what I'm saying? So
right.
Is Brownsville originally where you from?
Brownsville, yes. I'm born and raised in Brownsville. I went to PS 284. You know what I'm saying? My junior high school was Marcus. You know what I mean? 263. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, that's my neighborhood. I'm born and raised there, man. True facts. That's where but, you know, my mom's, when I was young, you know, my mom's had me when she was 17. So my mom's, she moved around a lot. You know what I'm saying? My mom's moved around a lot, you know, and we moved to Queens, we moved to Staten Island, we moved to Manhattan. You know what I'm saying? We was going around, you know, like when we was younger. So my mom's basically trying to move me to other areas. But, you know, at the end of the day, I wound up, you know, getting involved with the streets. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of shit went down with me, you know, growing up. And, you know, I had to leave Brooklyn. I had to leave Brooklyn because I got in too much trouble. You know what I'm saying? I was running with the wrong crowd. You know what I'm saying? I was doing crazy shit. Started hustling, drug dealing, going upstate with Jamaican niggas from Flatbush. And we would just go and get bread. We was getting money. You know what I mean? Selling crack. This is way back in the days, like in the 90s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, I've been through, I've seen it, you know what I mean? Hustling, you know, trying to get a fresh pair of Bally's. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, that was the era when you get the Bally's and you get the Gazelles and the silk shirt. You know what I mean? The chains to go with it. You know, niggas needed that aura kit. You know, if you're a Brooklyn nigga, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Fresh pair of clocks.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? You wanted to live that life. You know what I mean? You wanted to, you know, coming from the projects, man. You know, one thing a nigga wanted to do was dress good. You know what I'm saying? And come outside fresh and fly. And you know, be able to go to certain spots and go cop certain fits. You know what I mean? And, you know, that was just the thing for me growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was it. You know, I grew up with Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, so Mike was always my inspiration coming out of my neighborhood. Like, I felt like he was the one that really channeled how to be a champion, how to have winners, how to be a winner. And witnessing that from Mike, even though he was a champion, the hood really didn't give a fuck about that shit. You know, because there was niggas out there that was starving. We was starving. Niggas out there wanted to hustle. And, you know, either, you know, I was rapping. I was like, you know, rapping. But I wasn't rapping, like, at a full high level. I was DJing first. Because I was DJing for a group called Smoking Top Dollar. And I was the DJ. You know what I'm saying? Then my homie, Top Dollar, got in some trouble. And he moved out the hood. You know, he got in some trouble, but he wound up, you know, getting locked up. And I wound up picking up the pen. And that's how I started rhyming. I picked up the pen more because he was locked up. I was like, damn, we ain't got no rapper like him. He was, you know, I put money up on him against any rapper in the game right now. Even to this day, right now, Top Dollar still one of the nicest MCs that I ever worked with. But, you know, we're going to do an album. I'm going to do an album with him. I bring him out on my IG sometimes to spit some rhymes, you know, and I'm gonna bring him out, you know what I mean, real soon, like next year, you know what I mean?
Now that's what's up. I'm glad to see that you give it back, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people don't get a shot when they man's blow, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, what a lot of fans don't understand is that when an artist gets signed to a major or an independent that has distribution, whether it be worldwide or nationwide distribution, the focus is on the premier artist first. They gotta make that money before they can actually put anybody on, and that's what I'm trying to tell a young boy these days. You know what I'm saying? So I can definitely appreciate how you putting, you know what I'm saying, showing love to one of your comrades from when you first started. So, because I was just gonna ask, like, what made you pick up the pen? But being that you was a DJ, and you mentioned that you was the DJ of the crew first, did that give you an ear for your production?
Well, you know, it was always in me. I come from the school lunch days of banging on the table. You know what I'm saying? We ain't really have beat machines like that. So it was like, you know, I would have to like improvise. You know, we didn't have couldn't afford equipment. So I had to improvise. Either it was like he was, you know, I would go to certain music stores and I come, you know, I would make beats in music stores. I would go to the music store and make a beat in the music store and then like kind of remember the beat and then go to a studio and then do that same beat over till I got it right. You know what I'm saying? But that was like back in the days when I didn't really have access to studios. People would turn me down. They didn't want to record me. You know what I'm saying? People would be like, yo, come to the studio and just make me sit there. And I would just sit there have my rhymes ready. I'll have my rhymes ready. And then nobody be like, yo, record that, man. Nobody would do it. So it was like a long way to get to recording one song. But I wound up recording one song eventually. And then I wound up buying my own equipment later on with my first, you know, industry check and shit. I started winding up, you know what I mean? I wound up learning the equipment, learning how to use it, learning how to hook up the MPC, you know, and hook up to the S950. And I started seeing I started going around different producers, you know what I mean? Like, oh, this how you hook this up? Oh, okay, that shit dope. I can do the same thing. So it was a whole lot of that.
No doubt. You got a crazy ear, like, you know what I'm saying? And I say that because listening to any one of your projects and your production, you know what I'm saying? Like your ear is real unique and it's real, I would say, soulful, right? So peep this. What kind of music was you listening to early on in the house to allow you to bring up all of these sounds and make this masterpiece of which you actually concoct?
Well, you know, I grew up off the Motown, listening to Motown, a lot of soul, a lot of Motown, a lot of stuff that my aunt, you know, I credit my aunt majorly, man. My aunt Olga Molina, she was the one that really, both my aunts, but her mainly introducing me to Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson, The Temptations, you know, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, you know, Isaac Hayes, just, you know, Diana Ross. She was the one that, you know, made me fall in love with the Jackson 5. I was a big Jackson 5 fan. You know, most of the groups back then in the 80s, and, you know, I was, you know, really into that. Prince, you know what I'm saying? I was really into all that growing up as a kid. So, you know, and then my musical taste went on further because of DJing. I would see these records that was not even hip hop records. They were like rock records, but you know, certain DJs that I knew, they were spinning these records back and forth, even rock records, cutting them up. You know what I'm saying? They was cutting them up, you know, making people just say, "Oh wow, how did you get this record? How did you know?" And then, you know, these were like, I guess people were doing, you know, they were figuring out that you can still get a drum break from a rock record. So it was like big to me. to know that I could get drums from rock records, and I started listening to rock and roll. Started listening to that in my teenage years. I was like, oh man, this is kind of different, but I could dig some of the beats. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I wasn't really so much into the messages of the rock and roll, but just the beats. You know, the guitar, the heavy drums, and you know, stuff like that. I was into that, and you know, I just started learning. You know, you start learning music, you start learning how to make your own sound. You know, you can go buy a drum set, you can go do this. And in school, I was a drummer. I didn't do very well in music class, but I wound up getting the attention of, you know, people at school, because it was like I was like this talented kid that would do these talent shows, and people would be like, yo, he's dope. Let him come out and rock with, you know, let him come out and rock. And I used to get in ciphers, and then that wound up letting everybody know that I was, you know, ready for the hip hop game. It was like, all right, you could play in the Rucker, you know, you could play in the Drew League for a little while. Somebody gonna come holler at you. You know what I'm saying? You know, there was a lot of times where it just came to that level, like, yo, this boy nice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know, yeah, back in the 90s, it was a whole lot of tests I went through.
Yeah, hey, look, let me tell you something. We used to go uptown, because I'm from Jersey, right? So what we had to do is we had to go uptown to Harlem and battle cats. You know what I'm saying? Back then, it was really ciphers. So whatever you had in the chamber, if everybody get a turn in their cipher, right? So anything that you had in the chamber, you had to spit. And if the cipher got small, well, of course the crowd got bigger, but a lot of people ran out of their rhymes. And then if somebody say something and it sounded like it was directed towards you, now you had to go up there. Now you had to go back at the cat with it. So that was my version of kind of like battle rap. And my group was called Orphanage, and we used to go to Harlem every weekend. Which brings me to this point I wanted to tell you. So one day, it was early in the morning. We was at we had just got finished doing audition at the Victoria 5, right? Now this was a little after Ghetto Girls came out. Me and my man, one of my people seen you walking up to Fifth. Never forget it. You had a one of them book bags where you top, you know, you keep the book bag, you know what I'm saying, with the string joint. And you had like
I was the 555 soul book bags, yeah, back then.
No doubt.
The 90s version joints.
Yeah. I said, yo, that's Adolf the Assassin right there. He said, word? Now this nigga was always into battling cats. So he was like, he tried to like catch up to you. I had to stop him. I said, yo, listen. Now he was nice, and to this day he's nice. But I stopped him. I said, nah, he on his way to do something right now. He ain't got time. It's early in the morning. You know what I'm saying? But maybe if he did have time, that would have been a monumental joint. I said, nah, you ain't ready yet. Not yet. Chill. But I said, yo, you know what I'm saying? I'll never forget that shit. I said, yo, and
crazy.
Let me tell you.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
From Harlem.
Yeah, he should have bought it, man. Fuck it. I would have, you know, man, I probably would have battled him right then and there. Just got it all. Yeah, I guess he was hungry, you know. I respect that.
Yeah, yo, listen,
I respect a dude wanting to go competitive, you know. At the end of the day, you know, that's what drives us, man. That's what pushes me. You know what I mean? Look, you see Roy Jones and Tyson fighting. They still feel like they got to get something out of their system, even though they this old, they still got it. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, see, let me tell you something, right? I'm gonna keep it a whole 50 with you. Me, I was still how you put it? I was still kind of rusty as far as the rap shit goes, right? Because he was in a group. He was more of the rapper's rapper. So yeah, we go up there, we do songs, we battle people in the cypher or whatever. But my thing was, this man is on his way somewhere. He got reconciled and all of that. Let's chill for a minute, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm different, I come from the street aspect of it. So I'm like, chill. It could get ugly. But he was hungry to be like, yo, if this nigga battles me, I can say, win or lose, I battled Adolf the Assassin. And you know what? Looking back in retrospect, I should have let him do it because that would be my You know what I'm saying?
But it's cool. It's cool, man. Like, there was a lot of dudes I wanted to battle too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I went through that stage of wanting to battle everybody. And I felt like I achieved a lot by doing that, but then again, politically put myself in a place where it's like, damn, most MCs get butthurt, still feel butthurt about certain battles. I feel they still feel like they could have had a second chance at me or whatever. But it is what it is. Like, man,
right.
If I could turn back the hands of time, I would have did it a little differently. Like battling Jay-Z, I think I never should have did that. Like I felt like, I really went hard at Hov. I went hard at him. And people that know me in the game know I went hard at him. But it was fun, but it was almost personal, but then it came from a competitive aspect at first that turned personal. Because it wasn't, I never had nothing against Jay-Z. But then when I see how Jay-Z acted, it made me want to go more. It made me want to go more harder. So I felt like at that time, when we was battling, because I battled Jay-Z at the Sheraton Hotel in Manhattan after CMJ. People was there in a circle, seeing us getting ready to go head to head and everything. Then the fucking security man come over and stop it. You know what I mean? Niggas making side bets and all that. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy, man. It was getting ready to get crazy. But that's history for you. You know what I mean? And Clark Kent know this for a fact. DJ Clark Kent, he know for a fact that he came up to me after I got off the stage, ripping the crowd, and say, yo, you nice, but yo, I think my cousin Jay-Z and you should battle. I was like, word?
That's crazy. That's crazy. Like,
I love competition. Bring it on, Hov. Bring it
on. Hey, back then, you couldn't be timid back then if somebody called you out anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, lyrically, I was taking out a lot of dudes. And I was getting to a scary point because it was like battling and all that was it was rising up in the game. And then people, you had Lyricist Lounge. I used to be at Lyricist Lounge a lot. Really, really up there with Biggie, really up there with a few other MCs that stood their own ground. So, I learned how to stay on my ground as an MC. Once I learned how to do that, everything else was, coming up with schemes, different styles, change my voice. I used to change my voice in between my rhymes so people didn't know who I was going to be. You know what I'm saying? But what I was going to do, I was very unpredictable with the flow at my early stages.
Nah, I can dig it. So when you actually got your deal, your first deal, right?
Right.
What was your expectation with that? Was it more or less, I got a deal and you thought this is it, I'm about to blow? Or was it an expectation where you got there and you was like, oh, this is how it is? All right, now I got to switch some things up.
Yeah, it was more or less a proven point because I never was signed before and I entered that industry mindset of thinking that I was going to blow and thinking that I was going to get the support from my label that I needed. But then I found out how record labels work and it's not always like that. and I really had my first run with Tommy Boy. Tommy Boy was the worst label I ever signed to. Tommy Boy Records, the first deal I had. Being that, you know, they're money makers, De La Soul and Naughty by Nature at the time. They were trying to sign new artists, but they didn't know how to break me. You know, I felt like Puerto Ricans in hip hop didn't have really much of a face, and they didn't know how to market me correctly at that time. And I felt like that really fucked me up as far as like my first release was concerned, because, you know, how we gonna market him to the black community, or how we go? They didn't really market me correctly, and I felt like, you know, that wound up, you know, making me realize that they wasn't the label for me. And then a year later, East West Electric came and said they wanted to sign me. Sylvia Rome made the deal happen, and then I wound up putting out Ghetto Girl, and that's how that record happened.
That's how that record happened. Now with Ghetto Girl, was that record forced upon you, or was that you being creative and just looking for a single?
Yeah, I was looking for a single, being creative. Yeah, you know, being that I was, you know, had the attention of major labels. You know, they just was trying to sign me off the street shit, off my street raps. Being that I was doing street raps, but at the end of the day, they wanted to market me. So, you know, I was like this, you know, fly Puerto Rican cat from Brooklyn, and they got it. They was like, all right, we're gonna make Ghetto Girl. Even though I felt like I could have came out with much more hardcore stuff, that record right there did it for me. It kind of like opened the gate as far as like, this dude's talented. He got, you know, the record went #1 on Gavin. You know what I'm saying? So when the record went #1 on Gavin, it was like, oh shit, he got potential. You know, it didn't sell a bunch of million copies, but it showed potential.
Yeah. You know, that was my shit. When I remember when I first saw it on Video Music Box, I said, oh, this shit is different. This, you know what I'm saying? And just, it had a good vibe to it. You had the girls in there, you know what I'm saying? And this shit was dope, you know what I mean? And it wasn't until I actually started listening to other joints from you, and I was like, oh, this nigga different. You know what I'm saying? He's different. And I said, oh, okay, that's when I started to learn, this is the single, this is what they put out. Because, you know, I used to listen to a lot of stuff, you know, around that time, like before that, Kid and Play, and, you know, shit like that. So they had all the commercial records. But then when I started to get into like real hardcore records, I started to see, oh, this is a formula. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, it was a lot of.
Now go ahead.
It was a lot of soul searching I was doing for me as an artist at that time. Ghetto Girl, you know, wound up doing it. You know, it wound up doing well as a single, but the album got shelved. My album got shelved, and after that, I went back to the drawing board, and you know, I just went underground. But
what I like about, my bad.
Yeah.
What I like about you is you stayed resilient, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't let that send you back to the shoe shine kid and ultimately go get a job at McDonald's or go to prison. You know what I'm saying? For slinging the things. You feel me?
Nah. Yeah, I wasn't trying to let that consume me. Thank God I stayed out the way all them years, because I didn't want to, you know, fuck up something that was a legacy. Now it's a legacy now. It's legendary now. You know what I mean? Now it's legendary. It's epic. I can look, you know, even though I'm not retired. I'm still not retired. I'm still in the booth. I'm still rocking. You know what I mean? It's something that I love. You know what I mean? It's something that I love. I really love doing music. It really is a high science to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I can feel that. What made you change the name from Adolf the Assassin to Agallah? Agallah the Don Bishop. Now listen, I know Agallah, Allah. I already know what that is, and anybody who's grown up under the 5% nation, anybody who who had family that you know bestowed lessons upon them, you can understand with the name, how the name rang, right? But with you, what made you actually change it to that?
Well, you know, it was like I was, you know, Adolf was like me coming to age. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I felt like, you know, a lot of things was happening to me. You know, shit that was just life changing. You know what I'm saying? I went to Germany and I did a show when I was, you know, under the name Adolf. And when I went to Germany, I got a lot of bad press. It came back after the show was over. Bad press media people started asking me questions. Like I was asked something to do with Hitler. And I was like, nah, that's not my get down. I don't know what y'all talking about. I just, you know, this is hip hop. I ain't got nothing to do with none of that. You know, what y'all talking about, Hitler and all that. And then, you know, I'm like, yo, I don't want to answer no more questions. Y'all get out the room right now. The interview started to get real negative. So I deaded it. I was like, look, they ain't finna fuck my name up in Germany. And I never went back to Germany because of that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know, I came back to the States like I had like an epiphany. You know what I mean? Like I gotta reinvent myself. I can't always just stay with this name because at the end of the day, that's not who I am. And I don't want nobody getting me fucked up. I don't want nobody getting me fucked up like I got something to do with some Hitler shit. So I was like, you know what? Niggas call me Aggie on the block anyway. You know what I'm saying? I was comfortable with what Brownsville know me as. Agallah, Angel, Aggie. You know what I mean? Like Ag. Like niggas know me as Ag all my life. You know what I'm saying? My best friends know me as Ag. You know what I'm saying? Like people that I went to school with, that's Ag. You know what I mean? Like Agallah. They know me. They call me by my last name in my neighborhood. Agallah. You know what I mean? So I just kept running with Agallah. I was like, let me run with Agallah. Agallah fit more better than Adolf, I felt, because Adolf was a little Adolf the assassin, didn't sound too friendly. But still, you know, because I was battling a lot of dudes, and I got tired of battling. You know, I just felt like, you know what? Let me just leave that shit alone. You know what I mean? Before they get punched in his face, and you gotta, you know what I mean? You gotta be out here like, dude, I'm wilding on you. See me? I'm styling on you. Boop.
Oh, that shit's classic. He ain't never gonna let that shit down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What's his name?
Oh man. I just remember the nigga who stopped the name was EJ. I can't remember the other.
Like, yo, shout to Zab too, my brother Zab. What up, Zab? I see you, Zab. Salute, Zab. Salute. So yeah, you know, like you know what I mean? Like in Brownsville, like back in the days, you had to be nice with it. And people be like, yo, you garbage. Straight up. Like if you wasn't nice, people be like, yo, you garbage, thing.
Right.
You couldn't open your mouth rhyming in my projects if you wasn't nice. If you wasn't nice in Brownsville, you get called out. Yeah, you garbage. You know what I'm saying? That's really. You know, you can't let nobody call you garbage in my neighborhood. Like that's just not proper for nobody to do. You know what I mean? So you had to stay on your game. You know what I mean? And you know, there was a couple nice rappers all over my neighborhood, you know what I mean? But yeah, you know, that was a big thing to be nice, you know what I mean? To be, you know what I mean? Like and then I went to school. It was always a battle going on in school. You know what I'm saying? And like I went to school with, 284, PS 284. I went there. It was always competition in my classroom or kids from another school. It'd be like, yo, we're going to battle such and such at IS 55 after we get out of school. I used to take that shit real serious. They used to roll up to your school, you know what I mean? Wait for you to come out. Yo, they gonna fear me on the ground. If
you're a crowd,
crowd
of niggas, two niggas.
Yeah, it was
No
real.
doubt.
And then you needed a beatbox. You needed a dope beatbox that was ill to hold you down in a battle. You know what I'm saying? To keep the beat going. If you had the ill beatbox and you had the rhymes, then you was getting noticed. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I come from the era when you had to have a routine. You had to have that ill routine.
Yeah.
And I knew my people's rhymes. So I used to beatbox and make sure I had to drop right on this word or drop on that word. You know what I mean? Come back with the beat. You know what I mean? Whatever. But that was my thing.
Yeah. So all that's happening. Your name is buzzing. You out there. You're on the underground circuit. You doing records for PMD, Sean Price. I mean, Busta Rhymes, Remy. I mean, you produced for a lot of cats, right? So, of course, you did the Purple City thing. You know what I mean? You did. How was it like working with legends like PMD, Busta Rhymes? You know what I'm saying? Like Guru. How was it like working with them?
As a fan, they are some of my favorite artists. But even more so that they're my favorite artists, you know what I mean? That I never would think that I would be working with PMD. I never would think that he would pick a beat for his album from me. You know what I'm saying? That's something that I always dreamed of as a kid. I used to really look up to EPMD. Strictly business. First album, bump that shit to the tape pop. You know what I mean? Nice and smooth. You know what I mean? Just those dudes that really, I wound up meeting them in real life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My uncle, my godfather, he owned a record shop on Pickin Avenue. So I used to see LL Cool J. I used to see all the rappers, Big Daddy Kane, Audio 2, Freddie Fox, Rakim. All of them used to come to my godfather's record shop. It's called Soul Shack on Pickin Avenue in Brownsville. It ain't there no more, but it was one of the first mom and pop record shops that sold hip hop. So I already had a plug. As a young kid, I already had the plug to know where the rappers is at. I was always invited. I was always buying records there because I was DJing. Remember how I bought Big Daddy Kane, Long Live the Kane first album. To listen to that back to back. Jungle Brothers first album. You know what I mean? I was all KRS's albums, all of them shit. You know what I'm saying? I was studying. I was like, damn, this shit dope. You know what I mean? And the way they was cutting records back then and able to cut them, to me, was just masterful. And learning the importance of having a DJ was another thing that I really, wound up getting introduced to. And seeing that firsthand, wound up rocking with Onyx, going with them on the road, meeting Run DMC. You know what I mean? And Run DMC, like one day Run see me. Run was like, yo, I want you to open up for me. I'm like, huh? I'm like, what? I'm like, I'm nobody at this time. And he comes up to me and says, Run DMC comes up to me and goes, I want you to open up for us in Germany. Introduce us. I said, oh shit, I got you. Next thing you know, I'm introducing Run DMC to 60,000 people, hyping the crowd up for them. And I learned the importance of introduction. You know what I mean?
Right.
I learned that at a very, very early age, and I'm always thank Run for that experience. You know what I mean? I always thank Run for that. And Run was he always was in my corner after that. Like, he's like he was always like really, really encouraging me on to go further for my career and go further for the mic. And that's why I'm always thankful, man, that I had that experience with Run. Always grateful for that experience right there.
Salute the Run.
Even with Busta, even with Busta, I first met Busta going battling. I wanted to battle Busta. I ain't gonna lie, I wanted see if Buster had Rob, can you bust around for real, nigga? That's what, but I wanted to meet him in the snow in the cipher.
Oh, okay.
And in that cipher, I wound up spitting with Buster and Q-Tip. You know what I'm saying? And they was like, "Who this nigga? He's ill." And then me and Bus became friends. We became friends, and then we used to hang out. He used to pick me up. Now, started working on his album with him. I really wasn't working on albums. I was just like the beginner producer, but I had heat. And he was like, we went on tour because we was on the same label. And then my tour stopped in Florida, and he's like, "Yo, come on, man, you ain't got to stop. Come on my tour bus." So me and I went on tour bus and toured with him till his tour was finished. And it was fun, man. I had a lot of fun doing that and learned a lot. I learned a great deal about the industry at that time. I was learning even more because I was getting to see it from Buster's aspect, not only mine, but Buster's, and then also EPMD. It's like too many things happening at once because I wound up falling out with Onyx, and I wound up doing other production work for other greats in the game.
No question. So real quick, you've been in the studio with so many people, right? Who would you say is the most polished out of all of them? Whether from Guru to Buster to Sadat X, anybody who you work with, who was the most polished?
That's a good question. My personal favorite, Kane.
Mm-hmm.
Kane, Big Daddy Kane. I'm sorry. I just feel like Kane is all around the board talented. He's all around the board talented. He's not one dimensional at all. Kane got the right aura for the perfect rapper ever, the best rapper in the game. I feel like I think he definitely one of the top ever to me in my book, Big Daddy Kane. It's just that he got this Brooklyn. It's a Brooklyn mentality that I connect with Kane. You know what I mean? It's that Brooklyn shit that I connect with him. I connect with him all day on it. You know what I mean? Because let it roll, get bold. Watchers can't hold back control because this man was so controlling effects. What the heck? Rock the discotheque. His groove is what next? See, that's some Brooklyn shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And I just the way he just hit you with that. The way he can hit you with it, and it's just flawless. That's what Brooklyn nigga. That's what we do. We just sharp with our shit. We ain't out here lacking. We sharp with it. We hitting it right on the nail. We gonna get the shit right off the top. You know what I'm saying?
And still that nigga too. He's still that dude. And it's a lot of people still can't even touch where he was. You know what I'm saying?
And it can't touch him now.
Total package.
Yeah,
real quick.
And all respect to Rakim, you know what I'm saying? He's one of the greatest lyricists, but I look at Kane as one of the best performers that the world has ever seen. I look at Kane as a total package performer because he could dance, he could entertain the crowd, he could fuck the bitches with just a couple of words. Now, girl, step up to this. He got that debonair shit that it takes to win. You know what I mean? And I always put Kane at the top of my list of MCs.
I see Kane drop the mic, pick it up, screw the mic back on, and still got back on beat. That's showmanship right there. Showmanship. Whether
it pours out of him. It pours out of him. When it pours out, it pours out of him. It pours out of him because it's just you know, when he get on the mic, you see everything. You can see it. You can see the professionalism. You can see it.
No
You know,
doubt.
but I'm grateful to have that experience. You know, Kane. You know, I got a couple songs with Kane. You know what I mean? So you know, I feel like the resume is definitely heavy. You know,
Absolutely.
after all these years, it's been a good outcome because I got to get with people that I looked up to. So I'm grateful for that. Always grateful for them experiences, for real, for real.
Yeah. You know, we got 5 minutes, right? So I definitely want to say this real quick. I don't want people to, the people who already know or new people to just think that, you know, think of you as A.O. the Assassin from Ghetto Girls, or, you know what I'm saying, Brad Pitt from Purple City. You know what I'm saying? I want them to know that you was just a straight up all around artist when it comes to it, because number one, stage show, number two, the intensity in your lyrics, and you got lyrics, and three, production, and you can hold your own standing next to the greats. Like Sadat X, for instance, you got a project with him. This joint right here, crazy. And you said, you got.
Yeah, me and Dot, man. I high respect for Sadat. High respect for him. Always hit. He's another one, another trailblazer that I feel that don't get the proper respect. Being that, you know, he's, you know, we all know, everybody knows Sadat great. Everybody know. I ain't never heard nobody say Sadat was trash. And nobody, it never came out of nobody's mouth I ever spoke to in life, or in this day and time, I never heard nobody slouch that man. You understand? But we deal with a different political belt. Everybody wear a different political belt. So it hurts the art. That political belt that these niggas be wearing hurts the art. And I think that he got tired of it. You know, sometimes, you know, when you don't let a nigga smell the roses, he gonna pick his own out the garden. He gonna go to your garden. He gonna lawnmower over your roses and let you know, don't grow no roses around me, nigga. I ain't get mine yet, nigga. So I feel like I feel like he just was right there. And I feel like the same way too. I feel like a lot of niggas ain't give me my roses. I had to pull up with the motherfucking lawnmower and say, look, you ain't finna have no roses here, nigga. I ain't get mine yet, nigga. So here, let me go over your shit. All right. Now if you wanna fight, then we can fight. That's what this is. Two grown ass men tired of the bullshit. Time to stop the games. The whole album bang heavy. People love it. I love it too. I try not to listen to it too much because it's so goddamn good. Of an album, I gotta save the listens.
Yo, that joint right there is fire. Like, I listened to it yesterday. I listened to it, you know what I'm saying? Like last week. I'm like, oh shit. I can't. I wish that we wasn't in this COVID era right now, because I would have loved to see y'all performing, just to see him on stage. You know what I'm saying? And I never seen you perform either. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
God willing soon. God willing soon. God willing soon, yeah.
So real quick, how do you want to be remembered? How does Agallah, when it's all said and done, how does Agallah want to be remembered?
Good question. How I want to be remembered is a guy that was a man before the microphone first, that gave it all, gave the music everything, gave myself to it, gave my spirit, gave my time, gave just my my devotion, my passion of wanting to get further in life, of wanting to get to a next level, of wanting to do something outside myself that was going to have a bigger life than me. You know, the things that I did for others. You know what I'm saying? The things that I did for others, you know, I want to stand out. You know, more than anything, the things that I've done for others, I want that to stand out. To know that, you know, there was an effort of hard work. There was an effort of dedications, blood, sweat, and tears, all combined. Yeah, I want to leave that. I want to leave that trailblazer mark on people's minds, knowing that, you know what I mean, I did something great. I was able to give the culture something and contribute in a major way. You know what I mean? And still, you know, still be able to, leave examples for the future to come and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? So,
Absolutely.
you know,
No doubt. So we definitely appreciate you, you know what I'm saying, taking the time to take us down the road, you know what I'm saying, only to, you know, just make a little quick, I would say gasoline stop real quick at, you know what I'm saying, at this new project, you know, with you and Sadat X, you know what I mean? And your resume is impeccable. Nobody can take that away from you. And I appreciate you, you know what I'm saying, for continuously giving us good music, because I'm telling you right now, it is a political game out here. But if y'all ain't got his records, I'm telling you, I'm not saying this because he's right here, because at the end of the day, y'all gonna hear his records on this show, and y'all gonna understand what it is. You know what I'm saying? And people who already know about Agallah already know what's up. But I definitely appreciate you. Tell everybody where they can get this album again, and just tell everybody why they should get the album.
The album you can go get on fatbeats.com with me and Sadat X. That's the Gods Have Arrived project, can be gotten on fatbeats.com. Or you can go to my website, www.agalah.bandcamp.com. You can find releases like this with Dirt Diggs. My releases with Dirty Diggs, the producers is on there. The first Agallah album, No Mercy for the Weak, is on there. You know what I mean? You can find my first album as well, Wrap Your Lips Around This, Adolf. You know what I mean? You can find, you know, the different projects, Coke Fiction. There's so many things you can go get over there. I think people, you know, could check out The Legend of the Water Dragon, all these albums that probably, you know, may have skipped by you. You can go check them out on my website, man. I hope everybody can do that. And keep rocking with me. Follow me on my IG, Agallah Music, my Twitter, Agallah the Don. We're gonna be, you know, we're gonna keep it, you know, raw as possible and keep hip hop alive, man, and keep pushing.
Absolutely. You definitely keeping hip hop alive, man, no doubt. The type of hip hop that I love. So I appreciate you, man, and we definitely gonna do this again. We definitely gonna do some more work together, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just keep tapping in. Those of y'all who follow Ag, make sure y'all he goes live and he plays some hot ass beats. So y'all need to, you know what I'm saying? I see the fire emojis every day, all day. So y'all need to
Right.
Holla at him, and for the right price, he can lace your project.
Yeah, also the new album, Agallah, don't forget, Ghoul 2, you can get the project from me directly. It'll be available on CD later on, but tonight, right now, you can get it digitally from me directly on my DM. And you know what I mean? Keep the love out there for Agallah. We gonna keep it pushing, man, for real. And salute to y'all at This Is Hip Hop Radio, man, for having me. Thank you for having me, brother.
No question, man. I appreciate you, and you know, we're gonna see you again, man.
Salute to y'all, and much love and bless to everybody at This Is Hip Hop Radio. It's your boy Agallah the Don. You already know what it is. Propane campaign, stay up. You know what I mean? Propaganda Campaña, Latino coming soon. You already know. And shout to everybody that rock with the campaign. Fidel Team, All Stars, we coming up next. You know what I mean? So yeah. We're gonna see it.
No doubt. And don't forget to go to that the latest Drink Champs and catch them on that as well.
The latest Drink Champs interview. Yeah, go check that out, man, if you haven't seen that. Word.
All right, man. We appreciate you.
Salute, my man. Thank you, LS. I appreciate you.
Oh.
Thank you.
Anytime, man.
My man's is outlaws with the 4 fevers. Word to Jesus, they quick to make you believers. Hector Koch, rocking with the Desert Eagle. Pop your top off, fucking up your whole cerebral. This is lethal. We put the gun on your lips like that bitch who sucked.